We got to start talking football. I want to kick it off with a discussion about the Wonderlic test. It's supposed to measure cognitive ability, problem solving. It's also become a staple of the NFL Combine.
Look at that big bubble butt. That's a power generator. Offensive linemen love that.
It consists of 50 questions. And the hard part is not necessarily the content of the questions, but that you're timed. You've only got 12 minutes. So that ends up being about 14 seconds per question.
All right, so it's more than an IQ test. It's seeing what you would do in different situations and how quick your brain works. And yeah, obviously football is a game of split-second decisions and reading what you see that's in front of you before the quarterback says hike. Yeah, you need a certain level of cognitive ability to read the football field and call audibles.
There's the aspect of doing it quickly, but also like, how composed are you? I remember the movie Fresh, right? They're playing chess and Samuel Jackson's like, put them on the clock. I'll eat all their asses up.
But let me tell you something. Put the clock on, put the show on speed, I'll chew his ass right up.
Pause. As soon as the clock is on, it's a different level of pressure.
So I could get it. Look, you don't want an ogre on your team. There's certain positions where they just tell you, I'm sure there's been plenty of players before, like in football specifically. As soon as that ball is snapped, just go get the football.
I need that ball. Get me the ball.
You need the ball.
Get me the ball.
Get you the ball.
Are you going to get me the ball?
I'll get you the ball.
But on the other side, like you said, other positions, they got to be smart. They got to communicate with the coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. You got to be smart. You can't just be an ogre.
I'm not all about the combine and watching all the combine stuff in the 40s and all that. I actually think the best thing for the NFL Combine would be watching dudes actually take this test. Because, man, that would put the pressure on. I see them sweating. That shit would be so much better than watching them run the 40 or do some bench press.
Sweating, but breaking the pencil. Just break, like they just quit and just break the
pencil. Mad smudges on the multiple choice. The pencil's running, their hands sweating. I'll give you a couple sample questions just to give you an idea of like what type of questions are on this test. So a piece of rope costs 20 cents per 2 square feet. So how many feet can you buy for $30? So obviously, everybody's going to have their way of approaching this. $1 is going to get you, 10 square feet, $30, blah, blah, 300. Mm-hmm. Another one, which of the following numbers is smallest? 0.3, 0.08, or 0.33? So that shouldn't take you 14 seconds.
No, that's right. Yeah, 0.08 would be my answer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. A train travels 25 feet in a third of a second. How many feet does it travel in 4 seconds?
So it's 75 times 4.
Exactly. 300. What happened?
Oh, there's no way these athletes are fucking scoring high on that shit. No, not in 14 seconds. Not in 14 seconds. Not without a calculator. Not without their friend, their professor that gave them the answers in college. There's no way these guys are getting these answers.
I know they don't have the study aid helping them prepare for the test. There's actually been people that have said, hey, look, they don't want someone that scores too high because that's a person who's going to challenge authority. That's someone that might undermine the coach in the locker room. They want people to fall in line, like the military, right? Like, I'm going to give you your orders. You block this guy. You run the play the way I draw it up.
It sounds bad, but there's a system that's been put in place by very smart football minds, and they just want you to fit into that system because it's a team sport.
On that note, there was this guy versus the city of New London, Connecticut. The guy filed a lawsuit against the city because he was told that he scored too high with a 33 to be considered to be a cop. Because they said the city of New London would only consider applicants that scored a 20 to a 27 for police officer positions, and he scored too high to be a cop.
That's fishy. That's fishy. that obviously, look, that's something I would expect from a lot of other industries. You know what I mean? The music industry, the media. What damage can you do with it by being a cop that's too smart unless there's something going on and that shouldn't be going on.
All right, so what position do you think gets the highest score?
Off the top of your head, quarterback. That's what you're going to think. Quarterback. He has to run the show.
The highest average scores are offensive tackles.
Now I would think an offensive tackle is an ogre.
The average score for a tackle was 26. Next was centers at 25, and then quarterbacks at 24. And then it's guards with the 23.
The O-line, they have to, first of all, they have to know how to work together. That's the first thing. They have to know what the quarterback's talking about. They have to know what all the coaches are talking about to run the plays. So it must take a level of intelligence. And then a lot of these guys, a lot of them came out of good schools. That's why you can't judge a book by its cover, because I would think an offensive lineman is an ogre. Beer drinking, smashing on their head. That's what I picture. 6'9", 350 beef brisket. Just nothing else. Like no carbs, no, just beef brisket.
What positions do you have, would you guess, get the lowest score?
Running back. Running back.
Nailed it. Got it.
Yeah?
Yeah, halfback 16, fullback 17, and wide receiver 17.
I was going to say receiver was on the list too, but I was just going to say running back because a running back's job is just hit the hole, pause. Everything else is on the fly after that.
So they did this study where they looked at, is the Wonderlic predictive at all of NFL success? And they said hands down no. But it was interesting also because they found lower scores meant better performance for two positions, which was tight end and defensive back. So the lower your score, the better your career.
Like they used to say that about Revis. Remember? Darrell Revis. I don't know what he got on the Wonderlic.
He scored terrible.
See? So but they say he was a scientist with the footwork and when to jump and the timing. And they said he knew his position and he scored terrible. There you go. You just proved it.
Travis Kelce's a very good tight end. I imagine he's an idiot. He seems like it to me.
Yeah, but he acts like an idiot anyway.
Exactly. They also did this study and they said players that tested below average were twice as likely to get arrested in the future.
That's an easy one.
Let's go through a couple of notable scores. Only perfect score, he was a punter for the Bengals, and he came from Harvard. The next closest with a 48 out of 50, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Harvard,
yeah.
Quarterback, 48.
Wow.
Now, on the other end of that, another quarterback who got a 48 came out of Bama, which was Greg McElroy.
See, I don't know Greg McElroy or the punter, but I know Ryan Fitzpatrick. He came from Harvard, so obviously he was smart. He must put a lot of thought into his dressing. You know what I mean? He's always got some kind of get-up going on. Yeah.
The chain and the chest out.
Look, it's confidence. Look, he's a quarterback. He got a 48 on the Wonderlic score. He must be smart. So that's why he has that ultimate confidence. Chest hairs out, chains, glasses. I mean, look, I'm looking at him different now.
The worst score, you may remember this guy because he was a defensive back, and I believe he was on the Jets, the Cowboys. He was on like 4 or 5 teams, was Morris Claiborne from LSU. He got a 4.
Woo!
He claims that he blew it off because it's not predictive of football success. It doesn't matter to football, he said. So he blew it off.
Sure. I used to tell my mother that too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take this test. I didn't want to score too high. I didn't want to alarm anybody.
Your draft status, this is something that goes in the picture when they're drafting you. And money, the number you get picked equates to the money you're going to get. You would think you'd at least want to do okay.
Yeah, I mean, the lowest is 0, right?
Yeah.
So he got a 4. That's like a chair, bro. That's, you know what I mean? That's literally like a chair. Bro, he's 4 points away from a chair. Bro, that's crazy.
If the questions are evenly distributed, the correct answers are evenly distributed, on 50 questions, if you get C every single time, you should get a 12 or 13.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you could do, what was that movie with Ed Love and Dr. Dre? Who's the man?
Oh, yeah. C.
Abracadabra.
Oh, yeah.
Abracadabra, I'll get higher than a 4.
A couple players that got right around that 12 had very notable careers. Randy Moss got a 12.
Oh, wow.
Joe Mixon and Todd Gurley both got 12s. Coming in at 11, Keyshawn
Johnson.
Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette.
Oh, these are superstars.
Coming in with a 10, Darrell Revis and AJ Green, 2 more superstars.
Wow.
Coming in at 9, I forgot about this dude. If there's a guy you would have thought at this position will get the lowest score, Sebastian Janikowski.
Oh shit. God, he's just a foreigner that could kick the
But he was the dude that was like kick ball.
That's what I'm
Kick ball hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just he's an ogre. That's an ogre. He just comes and he just kicks the ball. Just put it in front of me. I'm gonna kick it 90 yards in the air.
And then another all-time low score, but from an all-time great player, Frank Gore got a 6.
Frank Gore got a 6. He's 6 points away from a chair. This is what we're saying. Running back, you just gotta hit the hole. That's it. Wide receiver,
Pause.
wide receiver, follow the route, and when I throw it to you, catch it. Running a straight line. You could be trained to run a straight line. You know what I'm saying? Like this play says run a fly. This play says cut across. You could be trained to do that. Outside of that, it's all athletic ability.
Yeah, I mean, there's positions where it's just this is what you're gonna do. That's why I'm a little surprised. Like on the offensive line, like you got to know the audibles, the center starts changing things, the quarterback's changing things. You got to know the playbook and the 27 terms that someone yells out and all the audibles because it's going to change your assignment. But once you're locked in and the ball's hiked, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. Now, on wide receiver, there is that split second spur of the moment, like, hey, that guy dropped back. There's a landing spot right here where no one, it's a zone. You know, I found a hole in the zone. I'm going to go there and I'm going to set up. And you got to be on that wavelength with your quarterback. Whether or not that's just recognizing the play or it's what happened.
That's instinct.
Yeah, a lot of that is.
Yeah, wherever you don't see the guy, go there. That's instinct. The offensive lineman, what you're talking about, what you just said, how they got to know the play, they got to see the change. There's a mastermind, the defensive coordinator, actively working against you mentally, moving the middle linebacker over 2 steps to the left, dropping the outside linebacker, pulling the inside. You know what I mean? He's actively looking to see what's going on. The defense coordinator, and then the captain, you know, whoever's yelling it out, the Ray Lewis, whatever. He's
the linebacker. I would think the middle linebacker has to be, you got to be able to see what's going on. You're usually the captain of the defense. You're calling things out. But at the same time, a great middle linebacker has the instinct, but also has the athleticism, the size, and everything else and the instinct to make up for, you know, a misread. There's the guys that just sideline to sideline have the speed. They make a bad read. It doesn't matter. They're still going to chase you down. So a couple of notable quarterback scores, Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. Who would you think got the better Wonderlic score of those two?
I mean, based off of reputation, but like I said, this could just be an ESPN trick. They let us to believe that Peyton Manning was the ultimate savant of what was going on. But results, Tom Brady. Tom Brady put in the results. So I would say Tom Brady got a higher score than Peyton.
Tom Brady got a 33. Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning got a 28. But here's an interesting one. Tom Brady's other nemesis was the other Manning, Eli. Eli scored a 39.
He's smarter than both of them, but he had the least of the athletic ability.
Some of the other guys that scored around there, Johnny Manziel got a 32, and he's a fucking idiot.
I thought he would be Frank Gore status. Yo.
Mark Sanchez, the butt fumble, scored the same as Peyton Manning, 28.
Well, where he come from? USC? Where he come from? Yep. Yeah, he probably was smart. He looks like he might have been smart.
A guy who I can only assume is a complete fucking idiot because he just had like his 10th kid, Phillip Rivers.
Oh shit, yeah. He had a 30?
Yeah. If you have 10 kids, I think you automatically just get a sub 10.
No, he's a Jesus guy. He's a Jesus guy. That guy's just a different kind of person. Phillip Rivers ain't stupid, bro. You can think in your mind and remember Phillip Rivers battling in the end of games, calling audible, coming, Phillip Rivers. So that pause, yeah, but that to me takes Wonderlic points. So to be known for the guy that's just calling audibles at the end of game, fourth quarter comebacks. Quarterbacks that are known for fourth quarter comebacks and then Wonderlic score. I bet you
that'd be an interesting one to look at. So some other guys, Aaron Rodgers got a 35, very high score.
Yep.
Drew Brees got the same as Peyton Manning, 28. So that's definitely a sweet spot for the testing.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston, what would you have guessed?
Oh man. Jameis Winston seems a little rotoro to me. But Jameis Winston had moments where he rallied from behind a lot of times. I would give him 26, right below.
Ooh, 27.
27. Okay. I'm noticing a pattern. He does the dun stuff. He makes dumb decisions, but when you pull his gameplay performance, he did a lot of comebacks. In college, he was the man. He did those late game decisions and got results. So therefore, look where he's at, Wonderlic. You know what I mean? It matches up to me.
Brett Favre.
I don't even know. The copper fit business might be smart. It might not be. I don't know if he's just he's just a country boy with a gun of an
Country
arm.
boy with a scam.
Yeah. I don't know if he's just hike and let me throw a bullet, but Brett Favre is known for those fourth quarter comebacks. I say 30.
22.
Oh shit.
So that's right on average.
So that gauge is about 20 to 30, 20 to 35. That's that.
Yeah, because look, in that range, that low 20s, mid 20s, you got Ben Roethlisberger at 25,
Another comeback guy.
Cam Newton at 24,
Comeback guy. Yep.
you got Brett Favre at 22, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees at 28.
You know what you're telling me right now? The guys, the 20 to 33, 35 range, they're not 50s, but they're not retarded in the tens. So these are the guys that come in and learn the system. And with their athletic ability, they're able to listen to their coach, translate the message to the team, and execute results. There it is.
Football is a game of understanding the system, and what will differentiate the great players from the great system players is you make that great throw when you need to. Aaron Rodgers did it. Tom Brady did it. You make that great throw. So you're usually functioning within the system, but when the system breaks down or something goes haywire, or you need to make the play in that moment, Ray Lewis did it. Like, you could find offensive players, defensive players. That's when you differentiate yourself. And you're not just a great system player, you're a great player.
Based on from seeing you in high school and college, if you were a guy to execute comebacks and to make split-second decisions and you had those big moments, outside of that, how could we tell that your pedigree to do this on the next level, on the NFL level? I think the Wonderlic score kind of gives you an idea outside of Johnny Manziel, because even though Johnny Manziel did the comebacks in college, he couldn't translate that into the NFL because of drugs, I guess. You know what I mean? But the Wonderlic, it seems to be falling in where it's giving these NFL teams, this guy got it in him. This guy got that John Elway in him. He got that comeback in him. This guy got that John Elway in him. He got that comeback in him.